Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation. You're watching The David Robinson Show
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation. You're watching The Review
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
with Paige Perfect. You're watching The David Robinson Show.
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
And good evening, and welcome to the David Robinson Show. Real talk, real people, real conversations. This evening topic, I want to talk about determination. I have a special guest on my show. I believe that to describe who she is, there are 5 words that I want to use. I believe that would sum up that made her successful in the things that she's doing. Number 1, dreams. Number 2, discipline. Number 3, determination. Number 4, dedication. And number 5, desire. This evening, thank you, Ursula Battles, for coming on my show.
You're welcome.
I want you tonight to talk about a little bit about your book, some of the things that made you go on to write your book, first of all, and I want to start with some of your first book and some of the first plays that you have done since I've known you.
Okay. All right. So you want me to start with the book first?
The book.
Okay. All right. So the name of my book is Serenity House: From Addiction to Deliverance. As you can tell from the size of the book, 659 pages in all. A lot of work went into the book. As you could probably tell from the title, From Addiction to Deliverance, it's a book about a residential facility where there are 6 residents who are in recovery. Mm-hmm. And it's their journey that they're going through in this, I guess you could say, a transitional house. And so they're in recovery, but this is a fantastic story about their journey in their recovery, and I like to say the supernatural ability of God to help them to overcome. Okay. So it's a very inspirational story. The book is based on the award-winning stage play of the same name, Serenity House: From Addiction to Deliverance. Initially, I was asked to write the stage play, which was recently performed in August, featured R&B recording artist and legend Shirley Murdoch. Mm-hmm. People are raving about the show. That was actually our 3rd presentation of the show. We keep doing it time and time again because it's really more than a stage play. It's more of, I would say, a healing piece. Mm-hmm. When people come to see that play, I like to say transformation takes place. People leave out better than what they were when they came in. And so because of the success of the stage play, I decided to take another step and write a book that was based on the play. And much like the play, I've gotten a lot of rave reviews and high accolades about the book. And I just give God praise for giving me the opportunity and using me as a vessel to do ministry through both stage plays and now the book.
So what would you say to my guests? What would be the first thing that they would have to do if they wanted to write a book?
Well, first, I would say anybody can sit down and write a book. Mm-hmm. I think the key is sitting down and actually writing a good book and having in your mind what it is that you want to write about and maybe what audience that you're trying to target. Mm-hmm. But I say the first thing to do once you have that in your mind in terms of, what you want to write about and the audience that you're trying to target is to start. People ask me all the time, Ursula, how can I write a book? Or, what's the best way to start writing a book? And I give the same advice that I think I followed in writing this book, and that is to start.
True.
The first thing is to just start. You'll be amazed that when you first start writing, you write the first page, and you say, okay, I got the first page. And next thing you know, you're on page 2. And next thing you know, you're on page 100. So for me, even though I had already done a stage play, so I'll mention that, I got a little bit of a head start because for me, the stage play came first and then the book. So I had a bit of I would say a head start in terms of actually having characters and actually having performances that had been done that sort of gave me a little bit of a start in terms of how I was going to frame the book. So that was very helpful. But once I began really writing the book, David, I felt that it was just more than a book. I felt that this was ministry through this book, much like the stage play that God was using or is using as a way to inspire people, as a way to let folks know who feel like there is no way out of addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, opioids. Some people have sexual addiction, some people have gambling addiction, some people have eating addictions. Whatever your issue is, there's hope. And as I see it, there's hope through Christ. And this book, as I see it, is a journey in terms of once you really have faith that God will do a thing for you, and if you hold fast to that faith and do your part, and when I say do your part, that means saying that, okay, I'm done with this addiction. I'm done. I'm done. And a lot of it has to do with, in some cases, with the characters in this book. In order to move forward, they have to forgive. So that's a big piece of the book too. That once you let go of unforgiveness, and I know for folks who have been hurt, whether it's in a relationship or someone stabbing you in the back or whatever the case may be, it's hard to forgive someone who has truly and deeply hurt you. Right. But the book shows that once you take that step and you start to forgive, or you forgive, I don't say start to forgive, once you reach the point where you forgive someone, the book illustrates the miraculous workings of God, that when you do that, then he can then really move in your life and open doors that have been closed, but you have to first do your part and forgive.
True.
So it's much more than, like I said, a story of just addiction, but it's really about forgiveness. It's about love. It's about pride. It's about what happens when you are too prideful. But I think that it also is a piece that has so many shocking and riveting parts to it. And the ending is just unbelievable. So I even though it's a big book, and I know one of your producers picked up the book like, oh my God, I tried to write the book much like I do a play, which is to keep it interesting. Mm-hmm. Like when people come to see a play, I try to write in such a way that they're not bored. And it's the same thing with the book. Every page that I've put into this book, I've tried to make it immersive, and I've tried to make it interesting, and I tried to leave cliffhangers on every page so that the person who's reading the book won't want to do anything other than to turn to the next page.
So how can my guests get in touch with you to know about how to get the book? What information would you give them to actually get the book?
Okay, first of all, I would like to encourage all of the guests, all of those of you who are watching, to go on Amazon. $29.95 the book costs. And if you put in Ursula v. Battle, the book will come up on Amazon. And I'm encouraging everyone who's listening to the show, go on and purchase a copy of the book. Everybody who I know who has purchased a copy, who has attended my book signings, some people haven't gotten through the whole book, some have, and they love it. Those who have started on the book and have gotten through the first, let's say 50, 100, 200 pages or whatever, saying the book is excellent. So I just encourage everyone to go on Amazon and purchase the book. You can also go on my website, battlestageplays.com, and there's a link there that'll take you to the Amazon site as well.
Well, we're getting ready to actually take a break here for a moment, and we're going to come back and get into those 5 words that I actually talked about: dreams, discipline, determination, dedication, and desire.
All right.
You're tuned in to the Page Perfect Review Show.
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
You're watching the David Robinson Show. You're watching the David Robinson Show.
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
Welcome to the Coyote Man Show. Stop it. You didn't cross that line. I'm the Coyote Man, and this is my host, Uncle Sheldon. And Uncle Sheldon, Shantae said she wrecked her husband's car because she didn't know whether he missed her or not. Uncle Sheldon.
He don't miss you at all.
Not that dog.
He don't miss you going upside his head.
Not that
He
dog.
don't miss you hitting him in the eye.
Not that
He
dog.
don't miss you cussing out his mama.
Not that
And
dog.
he damn sure don't miss you wrecking his car.
Not that
You
dog.
want to know what he really missed?
Come on.
The peace and tranquility when your crazy ass ain't home.
See, he don't miss you taking a brick and throwing it through his car window. He don't miss you putting a tracking device on him like you some type of FBI or something. He don't miss your disrespectful mouth. He don't miss that dirty, stinking house. He don't miss you sleeping with his cousin Nuck Nuck. And he don't miss you infecting him with all type of diseases that like crabs that did walk themselves over. See, you done lost your mind. Cause you didn't cross that line. That line. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
You're watching the David Robinson Show.
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
About, you had a dream, and the Bible said, you have a vision, write the vision and make it plain. I believe some of the things that really have made you successful would be discipline. Let's talk about, you said the key word start, but most of all, being able to finish.
That's
I
right.
think a lot of people start things, but they don't finish.
That's true.
A lot of people make New Year's resolutions. We're going to do this, but they don't finish. I believe one of the things that I found, not only be getting a chance to know you, but also work with you and being in one of your plays, is that I saw that you was disciplined and you had the dedication to do and the desire to do the things that you wanted to do. So what would you, most of all, or key things that you would express or what you would tell guests about actually starting something and being able to finish?
Well, again, I think the key is, first of all, is as you just said, and I mentioned earlier too, is the start. And stick to it. Because one of the things that I think that we all contend with, and I speak a lot of times in a spiritual sense, is that we get hit with all types of distractions. So you have to be disciplined, because even when I was working on this book or whether I'm working on the show, there are always going to be distractions that are going to come up. I could sit down and say, well, I'm going to write a particular chapter, or I'm going to write a particular number of pages in this book. And you can rest assured my phone is going to ring, or I'm going to get an invitation to go out, or somebody's going to stop past the house, or it's any number of things that are going to come up when you're trying to complete something. But one of the things that I've learned along the way is you really have to sort of abstain from certain things, and you may have to pass on that dinner invitation, or you may not be able to talk on the phone as much as you might want to talk on the phone. You may have to get up earlier in the morning than what you would like in order to get enough hours in the day to work on a particular part of a play or book, as I had to do. So I've never really been an early riser, but I had to get to a place where I had to make sure that I got up at least 3 hours earlier in the morning to work on the book, because if I got up, let's just say 7 o'clock or 6:30, that would not allow me enough time to get up, do the things I have to do in the morning, get to work, and then get home and work on the book. So I had to carve out time that was dedicated solely to working on the book. And the same thing is applicable to the plays. I have to carve out that time, whether it's in the morning, early in the morning, or abstaining from certain things that I would love to do, but I can't do because I have to get something done as far as what I'm trying to write. So the key word, I think the key is, once you start, the way to finish it is that you have to have the tenacity and the determination to see it through. And oftentimes that means not necessarily indulging in things that you would rather be doing, but making sure that you stay focused on the work at hand.
And I heard you use that word, dedication, as well as discipline.
Yes.
And being able to abstain from certain things when you could do other things to be able to finish. Also, I want to piggyback. I had the opportunity myself and the privilege to work with you on, I believe, Serenity House as well, and a couple of other plays. And it definitely was a privilege. And it has helped me to be farther along in my career today with you and Dr. Branch. But tonight we're definitely talking about you and what you're doing. And do you have any other books that you have coming up, or in the future, or any more plays that you're planning on doing with Serenity House again?
I'm always working on new plays. The way this book is written, and I just want to just read a little small piece of the back of the book. Through these characters, along with a montage of many other intriguing, unforgettable characters, and lighthearted humor while traveling through the yesteryear Baltimore and other parts of Maryland, this multifaceted drama exposes the insidious nature of addiction while simultaneously uncovering the shocking truth behind an elaborate and scandalous setup. This life-changing, inspirational story also illustrates human resilience, transformation through forgiveness, the power of faith, and the supernatural ability through God to overcome. So the book is set in Baltimore. I'm a Baltimore native, born and bred in the Forest Park area of Baltimore, graduated from Walbrook High School, Coppin State University, and the University of Baltimore. So anybody who reads this book, I don't care how old you are, will read this book and be able to identify with something in this book, particularly if you are a native of Baltimore. And it's just, like I said, just a fantastic journey. But the way this book ends leads into the next book, because as you know from being in our shows, all of our shows are based around the United in Victory, Tabernacle on the Hill,
Yep.
Free Will Baptist, Catholic, and Episcopal Church of God in Christ. And this book, that's the backdrop of this book, but this is the first of what I believe is going to be many books to come that are centered around that church. But this leads into my next book, which is going to be Discord in the Choir.
Okay, as we get ready to end,
Yes.
please tell my guests again how to actually get in contact with you.
Sure.
Or how to actually get, you said Amazon, but if you said you had book signing, right?
Yes, I actually have a book signing coming up on November the 18th at the New Phase Cafe.
Okay.
And that's down on Lexington Street. Give me a call on 443-531-4787. I'll be there with books. I'll be there signing books. And attendees will get an opportunity to see excerpts from our hit stage play, Serenity House from Addiction to Deliverance. So give me a call or visit my website, battlestageplays.com.
Well, thank you, Ursula Battles.
Thank you.
You for just coming on my show. It was definitely an honor to actually get a chance to have you on and also work with you, and looking forward to working with you in the future.
And I look forward to working with you too. And for those who don't know, you are a phenomenal actor with the best wardrobe in town.
I appreciate that. And thank you for watching the David Robinson Show. Real talk, real people, real conversations. Until next time.
You're watching The David Robinson Show.
On the Coyote Man Show Network.
Real talk, real people, real conversation.
It started with a question. Who do I want to be? The answer isn't as simple as you may think. I want to be more. No. I need to be. So listen.